Well, that was the outside. Now the camera's in the inside. And it's that time of the week again. We're at Lesko Free Radio, and I got a heck of a show. I mean, I work all week on these things, putting together and finding people and talking to me, interviewing beforehand and everything. I've never done so much work in my life. I know once you see the show, you won't believe it. It won't look that way, but it does, and it's fun. I mean, I learned so much putting these shows together, and you're going to learn a lot today. We got about 4 people here today who are going to show you how they got money to do fun things in life. That's right, free money, not from traditional sources. I'm not going to tell you how to go to the bank or or borrow money or things like that. No, I'm going to show you how to get free money from non-traditional sources to either solve problems in your life, or do fun things in life, And the first guest we have sitting next to me here, now this is Christine Williams, and I'll tell you what she has. When you start talking to this woman, I don't know if she realizes it, but she has something in common with Nelson Mandela, Jimmy Carter, Václav Havel, I don't know about him, Colin Powell, Bill Clinton, Desmond Tutu, and this woman right here have all something in common, and it's incredible. They all got money from Fulbright, the Fulbright grants. They all got Fulbright grants. That's why this is one of the most prestigious sources of funding in the world. And this young woman right here who goes to school right across the street, Howard University, I almost said Harvard, but it is just like Harvard. And she just graduated, and she's going to Germany on a Fulbright. So did you have to, did you go to private schools all your life? Did you have rich folks? Did you have
no. I've been to public school all my life. I was in the IB program for high school, but that was pretty much it. And then when I got to Howard, I went on a full tuition scholarship.
Oh, you did? Oh, good for you. Put up the first, let's show her getting this Fulbright. And everybody, there were 6 people or 5 people at Howard who got this.
I think this one shows just 4 people, but there were a couple
but there's
extra
another
people.
One, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so your background, I mean, you weren't groomed for a Fulbright, because that's what, I mean, when I heard you got a Fulbright, I mean, I just dropped dead about it. I mean, that's just one of the most prestigious things I could think of. And it is really prestigious. Show the next slide. Show up number 11. Now, this is a grant. Look at, it's offered in 155 countries. 43 of the people who got these grants also got Nobel Prizes. Nobel Prizes. That's the kind of crowd you're hanging in. I mean, that's incredible to me. And look at 78 of them have Pulitzer Prizes. Now, Pulitzer Prizes, that's for writing and journalism, things like that. That's it. And look at, there's more Nobel Prize laureates that are Fulbright recipients than any other award program. So that means there's no other award program that has such prestigious people as what you have. Yeah. Did you know this? What you got?
I didn't. Well, they kind of tell you during the application process and on the website, but
yeah. But it started right after the war. Come back to us, Eric. Right after the war, and they used the money. Fulbright was a senator back in like 49 or something when he started this, and he passed legislation. And what he was doing is funding this to give people like you the money to do something overseas. He was using money from the surplus war equipment. Oh. So all the war stuff we didn't need anymore after World War II, they were going to sell that, and the money went to you. Yeah. And that's how they started with this, with the funding, which is sort of cool. And he says, its aims is to bring a little more knowledge, a little more reason, and a little more compassion into world affairs, and thereby increase the chance that nations will learn at least to live in peace and friendship and not war. So you're going over to Germany. What are you going to do there?
So I was granted the English Teaching Assistantship Award. So I'm going to be in a school helping an English teacher teach the English language to students in Germany.
Do you speak a little German now?
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah.
Cool. I guess that's going to help a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Huh.
Yeah, but other students so you can either apply for the full grant or the ETA.
What's the ETA? Is that what you have?
So the English Teaching Assistantship, and then the full grant is where you actually do research in the country that you're going to. So that's a little bit more broad, and you have a little bit more leeway with what you do. So
this is already predetermined what you're going to do. The other one with somebody, you have to like do.
Yeah, you have to bring up your own proposal. You have to create a research proposal.
I see. That's interesting. Well, Eric, run this video on here because I found on the web a video of some people at a college who talked about their applying. It's God, what is the college? I forget the name of the bloody college. It's Ursinus. You ever hear of that college? It's a small little liberal arts college in Pennsylvania. I didn't know about it either. That's 14. Let's run that. I'll give you a few.
I'm applying to do a Fulbright English Teaching Assistantship in Turkey.
I'm applying for a Fulbright English Teaching Assistantship in Spain.
And I'm applying for a Fulbright to Australia to study at the University of Melbourne at their Indigenous Studies program. Basically looking at how Indigenous Australians view issues of assimilation and identity.
Hi, I'm applying for the Fulbright Scholarship to study in Jordan in order to study the early intervention methods for autism spectrum disorders in children.
My Fulbright proposal is to the country of South Africa, in which I will be studying how non-governmental organizations use non-traditional methods of education as a way to reintegrate youth back into society and break the cycle of unhealthy lifestyles.
I am applying for a Fulbright to Germany so I can continue studying German-Russian relations, but this time from a public opinion point of view.
I'm applying for a Fulbright in Morocco to study the connections between fashion and culture.
Oh, you said fashion and culture, anything you could study.
Yeah.
Did things like that, did you look at doing something like that instead?
I did look at doing something more like that, but because my degree is more in education, I knew that I did want to get more experience teaching.
I see.
When I started thinking about applying for the Fulbright, I was thinking about what I want to do right after school. I knew that I didn't want to go to grad school right away, but I wanted a little bit more experience and I wanted to travel, so...
Wow, so this is a trifecta. You got all three. So you're going to get experience of teaching. So you're just right out of college, right?
Right.
But you don't have to be just somebody
You don't
out
have
of
to be like education minded in order to do the ETA. It's more just to help get people from the United States out to other countries, helping other students learn English, since English is such a
everyone's
popular language that people are beginning to learn.
So you think even if you don't know the language of the country, you may be able to get a...
Well, sometimes, so for Germany, you have to know German to a decent extent. There's other countries like India where they speak English most of the time, so you don't need to speak a different language. So it really depends on the country that you're applying to. They have different stipulations, but...
What was the hardest part of the application?
Probably the waiting.
Oh,
so I submitted my application, the national one, on October 15th, and I didn't hear the final decision until April 2nd.
Oh, no kidding, that long. So it's good if you're thinking about this to do it now, right?
Yeah, you should definitely start thinking about it over the summer, looking at the different countries that you might want to go to. And I know that Howard had a really good setup for the Fulbright, because you have to turn in your full application a month in advance.
To the university, you mean?
Yeah, to the university. And then they have an advisor that meets with you to look at your application, look at your statements of grant purpose, look at your personal statement, make sure that everything's okay, so you can do, a couple editing.
Yeah. So if you have people watching this, if they have somebody, a student, in college now, you have to be a graduate, or could you be a summer or anything?
So it depends. There are some people that got the ETA that graduated a couple years ago.
I see.
But you have to be at least a college graduate.
Has to be at least. That's for an education one, right?
For the ETA.
ETA.
Yeah.
Now the others, I mean, could you be, 40 years old and apply for one of these things?
Yes, you can definitely
So
apply.
you can be any years old. So I mean, that's what I mean. If you're in between jobs now,
yeah, right,
and you want a great vacation in India or do something, even if it's not ETA, it's one of the others.
Yeah, that's called an at-large applicant. So you're not going through a specific university, but you do need to have a pretty good application.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're interested, then you'll do the research to, what it requires to maybe get accepted.
Right.
And sure, everybody's not accepted. But it's like that. I mean, people play the lottery at 1 in a zillion. Yeah. And here, at least most of the data I saw, it was like 20% that apply or something are getting. I mean, they give us something like $8,000 a year or something like that. Yeah. So you had help at the university. So So it makes sense if you're out of school, go back to university, and maybe they could help you with the application
figure out whoever,
process.
like the Fulbright, it's called a it's something like on-campus advisor, on-campus specialist person that deals specifically with the Institute of International Education, which is what the Fulbright goes through.
Yeah, we showed them earlier. Well, let's put that slide on again, Eric. That 15, that's the web page. And that's part of the State Department. So this is what we're trying to do as a country, is not only bomb the hell out of all these other countries, but maybe try another tact.
Yeah.
And
so you can also get the Fulbright if you're a teacher, if you're a professor. They have the Fulbright Scholar Program. So mine is the Fulbright Student Program because I just graduated. But you can also do a year exchange program where you teach in another country.
See. And then also the other way around, you have friends overseas that
they
could apply to come here, right?
Yeah.
And study here or teach here or whatever. So that's, I mean, it's a huge program. And it's so, I mean, that's why, to me, it's the most prestigious thing. And that's why when you said you got that, I thought, wow, you are a special lady, and it's so fun to know you that, you applied and got it, and your uncle or something didn't own a building in Manhattan or something like that to make that happen.
It was a lot of hard work, but
well, everything is in life, and I think the hard work is fun. I mean, to me, it's sort of like people want life to be easy, and that's like playing basketball with a 5-year-old. Why do you want to do that? You're going to win all the time, and that's no fun. But it must have been really rewarding when you found out you got it after all that work you
finally.
put in.
When I had turned in the application, I read it at least 100 times, going over it, making sure that it was right. So it was
that's wonderful.
Exciting.
Okay, let's go back to us, Eric. And we got the video. Oh, by the way, that little college is co-ed that we saw all those students from. No, just to us. And they're all women.
Yeah.
All women are applying for that. So guys, they're actually in higher education. Women are knocking the socks off of guys.
Yeah.
There's more women in higher education. They're braids. I think they're about half of law schools and med schools now are women. I mean, 30 years ago that was unheard of. When I was going through college. So now you guys are taking them. That's why I think women are smarter. You know what's going on in the world. You need education. The rest of us, especially guys, we think we know everything. And, we'll show you. And we're wrong most of the time. Well, everybody's wrong, but at least